Hey you guys, welcome back to another live stream. Which is another day. Y'all is Wednesday right now. That's crazy to think about that. But hopefully everybody's day though has been starting off well and has been going well on this Wednesday afternoon so far. But it's been going pretty well. All I've done today is I um cleaned all the windows in the house that were needed, and then I just got to relax afterward. Hey there, Cheers Life. Welcome back. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing good. But yeah, as people are making their way in here, please be aware to be respectful in here because I have mods who are in this chat and stuff like that. So that way, if we have to get somebody, they're the ones doing it and not me. Because y'all, I'd rather it not always be me doing it because, because the thing is, when it comes to getting some of those people, it's like sometimes it takes 5 to 10 minutes worth because you never know how many people are acting up. But yeah, and stuff like that. And plus, I'd rather not spend 5 to 10 minutes looking through the chat like that and blocking some people out of that many. It just does not make sense. I'm not doing a lot right now. I'm just chilling out, relaxing at the moment. There, your life to answer your question. But yeah, because, I'd rather not be the person blocking constantly. And, it's not all the time. It is not always good to really, for you to be the only person doing the job over and over because, you're going to get tired and, it's wasting time. So that's why with mods, they help a lot. And plus, they work a lot efficient and I can still talk with you guys without having to worry about all the nonsense drama. You know? You can. Mods can block people. Even I can as well, but I don't always do it a lot. Not only if I've got none on here, but. And the only people I will tell you would only be able to block is people that aren't mods and that are being disrespectful and rude. You know? It's okay. See? Y'all, even I have mods in here that are new. So even they're learning the process. And yeah, never block a mod. Because, even they help me out too. So that's one thing to definitely say now. Even though I know you want to do it, but it's good to say it out there just in case if that ever happens. But yeah, only block people that aren't mod and they're just being disrespectful, like they're saying something rude towards me or anyone else in the chat or being inappropriate, doing those kinds of stuff. Which some people they don't know how to act mature these days. But yeah. Oh, that is a way different story. We just kind of give it a little bit. I mean, luckily I haven't had so many mods go that route, but that's because with my mods, I look at them pretty closely. Because when it comes to me selecting mods, my key points I really pay attention to is, are they respectful to the others in the chat, just like everyone else is? Do they know how to stay the right personality? Like, meaning, are they good in the chat? So it's just really important to pay attention to details like that. Because, for example, Cheers Life and a few other of y'all that I have as mods, I have paid attention to y'all a lot, even since y'all came in here. It's like, I pay close attention for a little bit to make sure I feel comfortable about it. Before I say, okay, you need to fill this form out that I put on my channel, and then I'll look over it and spit you. You know? Easy, simple. Yep. Yep, I'm thankful that's not happened a whole lot. So that's a thank relief. You know? Oh, thank you so much. I very appreciate it. But, yeah, I need to put stuff out there this week. But, yeah. So, oh, goodness. I'm just fixing my position. But, yeah, right now we're just hanging out. For those that are coming in here. But, yeah. I mean, y'all, we're just getting started. So, it's nothing too crazy. But, yeah. Also, to kind of give you guys just updates in general. My boyfriend's doing pretty good. Kind of the usual for him. It's just he's been doing his college program, and which he's almost done eventually, like in the next like week or two, and then he'll be graduating from it, which is crazy and stuff. And yeah, wild to believe. And then next thing I know, June 27th, he'll be turning 19. So he and me will be the exact same age on that day up till I turn 20, which is October 1st for some of you. You know? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm thankful. Like, I am thankful to have him in my life because, y'all, he has done a lot. He's been nothing but green flags, like, ever since. And I said, I'm thankful for that because my last relationship, for those of you in here, let's just say at first it was decent, but then as it was progressing to like as months went by, like towards the middle of it, it just it kind of went typical, just like how some exes would be. And at the end of the day, I was thankful that he broke up with me because he was nothing but a jerk, and I don't like people being jerks here. Do you go to church? Yeah, I do. Sometimes I go to church. I know, for example, I go to a church for this women's Bible study that's like every other month. For a little bit though, it was once a month, but then for right now, it's every other month. Right now, it's pretty cool, and I might be going to church on Sunday. I'll have to see, cause I think my mom either went and texted my neighbor, and asked if I can go with her on Sunday, which would be really cool. And then also hopefully and also on Saturday at that exact church they have a women's brunch from like 10 to noon, which is pretty cool. And so hopefully I'll be able to fully attend that. So those days I'll have to split down the outfits I'm wearing. But yeah, what church do you? So one of the churches out here that I've went to for a little bit, I go there sometimes. It's called Faith Fellowship Church, which is in Athens, Texas. So where I live, it's basically a couple minutes away, which isn't bad at all. Like it's pretty good distance from me. And actually, a fun fact about that church, my baccarat service, where they celebrate all of the seniors of that class year for my high school I went to last year. It was actually held there. So I was in that service last year. It was pretty cool. But man, I remember how crazy it was. Yeah, I live in Athens, Texas. Well, I don't live exactly in Athens, Texas, but I live in LaRue, Texas, so that's like 15-ish minutes from Athens. But the church though location is in Athens though. And stuff, which luckily Athens is like a pretty good drive. Like it's like basically like around like 10-ish minutes at the latest. 10 to 15 minutes, which is not bad at all. But yeah, church is pretty cool though. But man, I remembered how cool church was. But so I went there. I went there a few times for a couple of things. Last time I went there for like for a Sunday service, I think was about a year ago. It was me, my mom, and one of my neighbors that went just to check it out. It was pretty cool. For me, I felt like it went well. And yeah, like it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. And like I said, that was where my Black Rat service was held at. But yeah, and for those of you that even aren't seniors yet, those are gonna be cool. I'm just gonna tell you that. What's cool is y'all all will be getting celebrated, and oh, it's gonna be amazing. Like I remember last year of how it was. It was really cool and stuff. Like, oh, it was amazing. And then y'all on Saturday, y'all something crazy Saturday. I'll tell you this. So on Saturday, it will officially be the 1 year anniversary that I graduated high school. Just insane. Hang on. Why don't you go every Sunday? I mean, honestly, like that church we haven't fully like put as like a full like most every Sundays a lot just because like I mean we moved about a year ago, and so sometimes when you move sometimes it's like checking the church out a couple times to see if you like it and stuff, just and it's about finding the right church you like and stuff. So for example, I go to this one church for like their women's Bible study groups every other month to before it was every month, but then it moved to every other month for a little bit, for I think a year. And but yeah, I went there for a couple of services, not like a every Sunday situation, just because of just things and stuff like that. But yeah, um, yeah, but yeah, the church is pretty cool though. Like it's a nice church, I'll tell you that. Um, but yeah, and then yeah, it's crazy. I still remember all the things in it. But yeah, that would be cool eventually to start going there like kind of more often, because then, you know, I can start like being a part of some stuff maybe, which would be pretty cool. Um it's okay. I was just saying cool because like something like a lot of times you can use cool in different things and stuff like that. But I mean, for example, cool's like, for example, let's say if you were to look at like, let's say you were, let's say, okay, an example. Imagine if you were to go into a store or something like Sephora or go into Kohl's or something like that, and you saw a certain item, or let's say you saw a cute shirt or something, and you're like, oh, that shirt looks so cool, It's like, for example, it's like another way, it's like another version of saying, like, it's like you like it almost, kind of a way. But, a lot of people say a lot of different words that mean the same thing. And so for example, in church with me, like the church, I've liked it. Like I've liked it. It's pretty cool there because a lot of the people there though are really nice. Like they're very nice and very respectful, like they should be. And that's a good thing. We need more nice people in places these days. You know. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. yeah, like I've went a bit. But it's because it gets a little bit busy these days and stuff. So sometimes it's kind of tricky occasionally to do it. But yeah. So, um, man. Pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie one bit. Oh, so I was hearing my dad. Oh, he's home, I think, finally. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I usually do go most of the when it like usually when we're able to. Tim Poop Boy, welcome back. It's been a little bit. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well since the last you were in here. Yeah, life happens, you know? A lot of us always can't make it to church every single week, and that's okay. The main part is you go when you can. So, for example, like I can go whenever I'm able to. And, even for reference, I don't even have a license yet, so it's like, it's not like I can't just be like, hey, I'm going out to church, situation. But it's like either one of my parents will have to drop me off or go with me and that stuff, or contact one of my neighbors because a couple of my neighbors go to that church too. And so, for example, my mom is, I think she did contact one of my neighbors and asked. But, that's a good part too with knowing other people that go there too that you can also rely on if you wanted to. Yeah, I can drive. I've been practicing for probably a few years now. Like for example, in this neighborhood, y'all, we have two different golf carts. So one is um more of like a little bit of one's a UTV golf cart, which is a golf cart that drives quicker, almost a little bit has more of like a motor into it. And then the other one's just like your average golf cart that you just charge and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. And so yeah, and so for example, in this neighborhood, since it's a private neighborhood, but also the roads are only a 1 lane road. It's also good for practicing and stuff like that. So whenever it's like whenever it gets like decent outside, or if I just feel like it, I will get on the golf cart and do like a few laps or so around the neighborhood, just to kind of get me in the hang of just practicing and stuff like that before finding a driver's school to hopefully get started to that process. Because, y'all, there's a lot that goes into driving, I will say that. Because, especially for beginners that are starting, it's like at first you have to start in a parking lot to get more of the basics down. Then, when you're more comfortable enough, then you move on into like driving to where it's a back road, meaning cars aren't as active. Like they're not like the highway where it's like all over like 1,000. So only where there's like maybe 5 or 6 or 10 cars at max, because back roads and stuff like that, they're not like super chaotic than the freeway or the highway. Plus it's kind of illegal if you're not licensed. And so yeah, so it's a good way to get the same practice because it gives you that visualization, meaning you vision how you would look like when you're licensed on the road. But it kind of gives you that little confidence practice to understand what it's like to be on the road fully and behind the wheel. And what's crazy with me is even I'm driving as an epileptic driver. I will say that. But luckily my seizures aren't like active. And so luckily with me I can pretty much chill. But you never know one day that happens. I hope never. But yeah. So I'm very thankful to Jesus that my seizures aren't super there. Like they aren't like actively crazy than they used to be when I was just a little girl. But yeah, but luckily as I got older, they started to slow down a lot. Meaning they weren't like under every other day, every few weeks, that kind of deal. At this point, it's more like probably every few years or so, or just not really rarely often. Like my last ever seizure though, y'all, was when I was a sophomore in high school. Thank goodness. But yeah. And I mean, y'all, even I do thank God every day that 19 years later, like 19 and a half years later, I am alive and standing and doing all the things that I would be doing at my age and all people would be doing at that age. You know? And plus, and really, y'all, the main part when it comes to learning stuff like that is to take it slow. So just split it in half, meaning don't push it all into, like, don't rush the process. Like, don't go, okay, we're gonna go do do the entire thing in a full day and then get back by dark. No. What you do is break it in half, meaning you start off going in a parking lot where it's not extremely wild with cars nearby, so you can practice getting the hang of how to loop around a parking lot, but also practice parking too, because, that's another step too. And act like if you were coming into that place of whatever kind, you know? And like I said, your brain just has a good visualization of just knowing how it works and all that. But I'm doing pretty good there, Tidbit Boy. I'm just now seeing your comment above Cheers Life after she asked me that question. But man, I'm just reading those comments. But yeah, that's just kind of what we do here though. But I mean, y'all, it is very important to start slow and not overdrive it. And y'all, let me just say this, even life is like that too. You can't just do a whole lot at once, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna put your life gear into drive mode, meaning you're gonna go speeding like crazy, and you're gonna go like this. You're just gonna go in circles all the time without slowing down every little bit. So hit the brake in neutral sometimes to literally, like, y'all, right now for me, I have the brake in, like, I have, actually, that's a good way to put it. I'm not gonna lie. I have my life gear in neutral right now. I'm not going, and like, for example, this actually, I'll say this with y'all. When I graduated high school almost a year ago, which will be soon to be Saturday, I'll be saying that. When I graduated high school, I will not forget. Man, that was an amazing day, I'll tell you that. I decided to take a gap year just to see where I want to be, just to kind of, it's going to get a break after those long years of just going and going. And what your brain does need that break, because, at this point, you can choose. It's not required now. You can choose to either go to college or, do whatever. You don't always have to think going crazy. Because, you're going to get tired at the end of the day if you just keep going like that. And you're just going to be blown off. So, like, you're just going to be worn off and drained from just those years of just going without stopping. But, yeah. So, let me put my phone like this. Oh, I don't know, I'm sweating all of a sudden. But yeah, I mean, let me fix my chair though. But I mean, that's just what you gotta do. And stuff like that. Ugh. Okay, I'm off today. That's weird. But yeah. So, hey there, Angus. Welcome back. How are you doing? But yeah. So, this is what we do. Oh, not much. What about you, Audrey? But yeah, I mean, that's just what we do here, y'all. That's good. I'm glad to hear that you're doing alright. Man, what are we doing? Yep. Oh gosh, what do I know? But yeah, we're just hanging out, you guys. So feel free to ask whatever in the comments. Just that's what we do. Y'all, that's how the radio in here works. Is just hanging out, asking away, you know? And just we're catching up about the day. And you know, it's good to do that. It's good to chat and just relax at ease, you know? That's a big hand. But it so far has been going pretty good. What about yours? There, Audra. Hopefully yours has been going good too. Because, I mean, y'all, all I've just done today is I basically cleaned all of the windows today. And then I also actually decided to organize my school yearbooks I've had since, like, a couple of them are from two of them are from elementary years. And then, like, a couple others are from, two of them are from middle school. And then, like, 4 are from high school. But it's probably going to be 5 because the last year, which was my senior year, is also when I transferred. So, yeah, so I decided just to move those where it was more in reach. So that way, if I wanted to ever look back, like if there was a day where I just wanted to look through one of them again just to remember a moment, then I could. And y'all, I'm glad that they even have those because, you know, it's a good way to look back on the memories and stuff like that. Especially. And all that stuff. But, yeah. And then also just fixed, because I had a few of my towels in the, cabinet in my bathroom, which my cabinet, y'all, is one that has like a 3 shelf, but the 3rd shelf is more higher up, so it's gonna be harder to reach from lower. So I went in with like a certain like little yellow pole thing we had, and I decided just to bring them all down and put them lower so I can actually put those in reach after a year. But I had other towels to spare in that meantime, so yeah, that's good to hear. I'm glad to hear it's been going well. But yeah, so yeah, and ever since then I've just been chilling out and stuff like that, like I should be doing. And so, yeah. Which I also just got through eating lunch a little bit ago too, so now I'm just talking with y'all for a little bit. Because at this point, you know, it's just relaxing, which is a good thing to do. It's good to relax when you can, because if you're not doing that in between stuff, then your brain is going to go all over the place. Like, for real. All over the place. But yeah, so, yeah, that's just what we do here, y'all. I've got to fix this pointer again a little bit. Mm. Hang on. Just a moment. But yeah, so that's just what we've been doing, y'all. But anyway, for those that are coming in here that are new, welcome. And if you are a returning guest of mine, welcome back. Because, all new and returning people are welcome to be in here. And also, for those of you that are fixing to be new, that are going to be coming in here, go like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't done so, because that helps us out with our subscriber count go up, and we've been doing really well with that, I will say that. So, again, keep doing all of it. Keep helping out with all the things if you haven't. But yeah. And also, I do go live on here every other day. At first I was doing daily, and then after a while of just doing that, I just decided to do about every other day, just because, for mental health, it's just, it's gonna take care of your own health too, because, things are crazy out there, and sometimes you just do its best. So I just did me for just health reasons and just for my own physical health of just me. But of course I will post like stuff sometimes in between those off days. Like, for example, yesterday I actually decided to take a day off yesterday, because I've been doing a few days before of just on here talking with y'all, which is great and all, but sometimes it's good just to take a day or two off, because it's almost like if you were working a job somewhere. It's the same thing. It's good to take at least a day off in between your work schedule, because A, work is exhausting, but also, you deserve it. But, oh man, it feels so good. But yeah, so, yeah. But that's just what's going on there. Yeah. So, let's see, we got 30. Give me just a moment. I'm gonna move this and put it about over here. But yeah. So, man, how me is about to get worn down. But yeah, so, anyway, that's just what's happening, though. So, I'm probably gonna get off for a little bit now, but maybe later I'll come on, but I'll see. So I'll see you guys then.